Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Steel City Knives. Right, we're taking part in an open tag today. We're taking part in HTS_EDC's open tag, Soddy Sundays, and this is my offering. So I did a short of this about 8 months back when I first got it. I held out. So this is the Otter Hippekniep, and I probably butchered that pronunciation. But it's essentially a sod buster. So everywhere around the world has this knife pattern. It's widely been used. Every country has it. It's essentially a really stout, decent work knife. A bit, it's not supposed to be a nice sort of collector's piece. It is what it is. It's a real heavy duty work knife. Something like this it's a very thick handle. It's not one for slips. It's definitely a pocket dropper. Now I held out because I wanted the plum wood covers because they look absolutely beautiful, and I couldn't find any in the UK for love nor money. So I actually went and got it directly from Germany. And now, I can't believe it, Moonraker Knives have just got a load in. So, cheers, Donor. But, I was enjoying having you didn't see many of these over here, so I was enjoying the uniqueness, but I just wanted this. I think it's beautiful. The thing is with wood covers, they darken with age. They darken with the oils of your hands, especially if you don't treat them. So it's probably not doing it justice, but I'll link my short at the end of this anyway, so you can have a look at what it was like when it first came. So it's C75 carbon steel. I've tidied it a bit up for the video. I'll be honest with you, Otter's C75 is, it doesn't, now you might see this as a positive or a negative, it doesn't patina like other carbon steels. It does take a very long time to patina. Some carbon steels will patina very, very fast. And you'll see that if you're one of these people that like to force your patina with vinegar or potatoes or something like that, which I do on some of my knives, you'll notice the difference straight away. It's a brilliant steel, and they've been doing it for a very long time, so they know how to do a knife, and they know steel and things like that. We'll talk about the history, but I just want to give you my first impressions of the knife. We'll talk a bit about the history in the company, and then I'll give you all the boring stuff like the dimensions at the end. But yeah, sorry, I think they're boring anyway. All you need to know, this is the junior version and it's UK legal, but I'll give you all the. So people sometimes don't like the Otter knife because of the thickness of the handle, and again you can see that as a positive or a negative. If you want a good working stout knife, this is the knife for you. It's got a really thick handle, no hot spots, really well rounded over. It's beautiful, and I love this plum wood with the brass. It has darkened up a bit. I've got a real good light on here trying to show you the actual knife, but it's a beautiful combination of that brass with that plum wood. But yeah, I'm a big fan. So we've got a bull nose sort of blade shape here, and it's a fantastic work knife, and it's one of the reasons I sort of use this. It's very wood's very warming anyway, so on a cold day it will trap that heat in and warm up with your hand, sort of thing. It is beautiful. We've got this sort of bird's eye rivet style there, and just everything is done really well. It really is, and I'm a big fan of Otter. I've got a bit of an Otter collection now, and it's always growing, and it's a company that I will always buy from because they're rich in history. They really know how to make a brilliant knife. And what we'll do, we'll just have a brief look at the history. I won't go into too much detail, but we'll talk a bit about Otter now. So what we'll do, we'll talk about Otter, and then we'll talk about this actual range as well. So Otter have been around since 1840. So I had a bit of a laugh with somebody recently. I was talking about Bearing Son in the comment section of one of my videos, and I said to the guy, they're a relatively new company. And he came back with, no, they've been around since the 90s. Which just made me chuckle, and I mean no disrespect to that guy that said that. Now, obviously, I come from the UK, so we know Sheffield, and but in America, you've got Case. Some of these companies have been around. I mean, Otter have been around since 1840. They're 184 years old. So it's just incredible. It is really like they're such historic companies, and been going around for so long. So they started it originally in a cotton. They call it a cotton, Kotten, which is a traditional grinder's mill. It's powered by water, and that's where the Otter comes from. And that's what I love about a lot of the German brands. So the Otter, obviously, where it originally came from, they were on the water banks, wild, and that's where it came from. If you look at Boca have the chestnut tree, and again, that's due to a massive and beautiful chestnut tree that was outside of their original workshop. You've got the kissing crane. They seem to have a lot of natural, things from nature as part of their brands, which I think is brilliant personally. And that seems to be a running theme with a lot of the big German brands. But like they say, they've been going around since 1830. They was originally started by the Burns brothers, and we could go into so much detail, but I'll keep it relatively short. But now the guy that owns it is a guy called Frank Rommel. He's had them since 2011. I believe his son works for them as well. And they're still carrying on the traditional techniques. I think Frank is going to try and modernise the company, but what I hope he doesn't modernise it too much. I don't think they'll ever manufacture the original. Some of the lineup that they have will always be traditional, but I know they do other things within Otter anyway. So, but they do fantastic knives. I will always collect Otter. There's still a lot of other knives that I want to get for the collection, definitely. And I've been impressed with every single Otter knife I've had. I'm trying to think if I've done any on the actual, but I'll do a full Otter collection one day. I've still got a few more I'd like to get, but the company. Hopefully, I'll put a few slides up with the company and some of the other knives as well that they have. But this range itself comes in some fantastic covers, and I found a new one that I didn't realise they're doing one in green micarta now. So they do it in a small and a large size, similar to Case with their small sub buster and large sub buster. So that green micarta actually looks really nice. I mean, I'm a fan of micarta, and that does look brilliant. It's sort of like old meets new sort of thing. They do it in a walnut, they do it in an ice beech, they do it in a smoke oak, and they do it in a grenadille. Now, one of them has a different kind of proud, almost rivet here, and a lanyard hole. And I think there's only one in the lineup that has that. But something I'm tempted to get it actually, because I think this knife would be brilliant with a lanyard. Because of how stout and thick it is, it's not one really for a slip unless you've got a really large slip. This is definitely a pocket dropper. But I just love it. I love this pattern anyway. But just a phenomenal. The only thing, I don't like the etching. I don't like this etching because eventually that will fade and go with time. And then on a lot of their knives, they just have Soligen and then Germany. I'd like to see Otter stamped somewhere, just so that it will stay with it forever. But because even though it's a good deep etch, it will fade in time, unfortunately. But it's kind of their thing. It's on a lot of their knives. But I don't know what it is with this etching. None of us. I don't think anybody really likes these sort of. We love stamps, don't we? It's just it will last forever. Then, excuse me. Right? I'll do the dimensions. Right, should we talk about the dimensions? As much as I said that's the boring part, sometimes it's interesting because it's a handmade product, so sometimes the handles may differ just slightly, but sometimes the sellers get the dimensions wrong as well, so sometimes it is good for a reference. But I want to just have another walk around the knife because I've not shown you the walk and talk. So the closing is just such a nice sound. It's really, you listen to this. It's got such a nice thwack. It really has. It's really nice, satisfying sound. Now, it's a bit lazy on the close. It takes a while, and then it gets to a certain point, and then it will close. But like I say, it's lazy up until there, which some people might think is not the best. But if you wanted to then close it one-handed, you can do nice and safely and easily. But that sound on the open is just absolutely brilliant. Right, should we look at the dimensions then? So what people are probably interested in is the thickness of the handle. So that is 17mm thick, believe it or not. So really, really nice thick handle there. What's that? That's 7/8 of an inch. And then the handle length of it is 9 centimeters. That's 3.5 inches. And then the blade length is 7.5 centimeters. That's 2 15/16 of an inch. And then the cutting edge is 6.5 centimeters. That's 2.5 inches. So definitely in a legal, sort of a UK legal carry. They come in the small and a large version. So this is the small, but listen to that sound again. I just love it. I absolutely love it. I cannot remember if I've sharpened this or if it's just been stropped, but I'll show you the sharpness, which is pretty pointless considering how long I've had it for. But it's C75 is a lovely. Sorry, I'm chopping up one of my missus's magazine. Do you get in trouble for that? But yeah, nice and sharp. I have started hand sharpening just all the time now. I had a fixed knife system, and then I'd begrudgingly do my smaller knives, but I've got a new technique now, and it's just so easy, and I just don't know why I've never used it from the get-go. And don't ever let anybody tell you hand sharpening is hard, because it is an absolute doddle. And I'll tell you where I got it from. Neves Knives YouTube channel, and basically what he did, he uses his finger as a reference point. So and what you want to do is just offer them both up, because what I do, I use the thumb on this edge, and then when I use my finger on that edge. But as long as you get it roughly, sometimes I think when he was suggesting to put pen mark, but roughly they're about the same size anyway. But you can do that. You can put a bit of a pen mark and offer it there, and you rest it on. I use diamond stones, and it does. It's such a neat, and you know, something as simple as that, and it just makes it so easy. And then essentially, instead of putting any pressure on, you just let the diamond stone do the work. And as long as you're not forcing it, and you just, you know, and it's such a gentle pass, and it really does. It's so, hand sharpening's a doddle, it really is. And I don't know why, there's a lot of fuss around it, and there really shouldn't be, especially when you're using techniques like that. Now, I'm a blue collar guy, I've always worked with my hands. If you've got gnarly hands, it might be worth offering them up. I nearly lost this finger once, as you can see how it's deformed there. So if you've got a bit of gnarly hands like me, it might be worth making sure they match up, you know what I mean? You might have knocked a finger and it's all swollen, or all the rest of it. But yeah, as long as you've got, just use, like I say, rest it down, and then it is so easy, honestly, it really is. And I'm really enjoying it now, and I'm getting some nice edges on there. I'm not one of these that go for a mirror edge. I'm somebody that just likes a nice working edge. I'm not too fussy about it. I just get an edge on it, and jobs are good. And right, again, I'm just want to thank you all for that 1,000 subscriber mark, and I will get a giveaway. I know I'm posting this on a Sunday, so I'll make sure it's a good one, and I'll pull my finger out soon and get something together. But yeah, I appreciate you for all the support. What else? Oh yeah, that's it. I wanted to just I should have grabbed a box, because I do keep all my boxes. A big shout out to Otter, really. So they come in quite a simple box. I'll try and find one and put it on here now. And then usually, instead, I know some companies give you a load of stickers and stuff like that, but Otter, not with every knife I've found, but with some of their knives, I've either had like a polishing cloth, like a microfiber cloth with Otter on there, and sometimes they give you a sachet of a well-renowned oil that you can use. So I appreciate stuff like that. I know a lot of people like stickers, but I'm more a practical guy. I like stuff like that, and like I say, it's something for nothing, isn't it? So I do appreciate that. Right, that's enough of me rambling on. Hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoyed the knife. Shop around is what I'd say with Otter, because I've seen them go for some silly money being sold. And I know the prices have gone up recently, because I check all the official websites. But what I'd say is shop around for any knife. I've got no affiliation. I'm not here to sell you anything. Sorry, just knocked the camera there. So I always say shop around, get the best deal you can. I helped somebody very early on in the channel. I won't name his name, but he was after some, I think it was an Otter knife, weren't it, mate? If he's watching, I told him about a German seller and he was quite happy with it, and he couldn't believe the prices for what they were charging over here. Now, I know Moonraker Knives have got some in. I've got no affiliation. I do know Toner, I do like Toner, but I'm on the end user's side, really, because I'm just one of you at the end of the day. But I'll be honest with you, what he's charging for this is quite reasonable. It is probably better than probably what it would cost you to get abroad. But there are some sellers out there that are charging quite a bit for these. But even with, you know, anybody, shop around, make sure you're getting the best deal, because you don't want to. I'm one of these where it absolutely kills me when I buy something and then I shop around and realise it's a lot cheaper somewhere else. So with any knife, just shop around, do your homework is what I'd say. But right, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.